G'day folks, Jono here. I just wanted to speak to a lot of the discussions going on out there in the wider community at the moment about regenerative agriculture and the defence within the broader industry around its principles and the validity of its principles. And there's a lot of defending what I call the current paradigm. For those of you that don't understand what a paradigm is, it's a bit like the box that you've created of truth for yourself that's consistent with the life that you live or the way that you operate, whether you're a farmer or not. That's your paradigm, that's your box. Now, when we talk about ecosystem function, and look, regenerative agriculture in a way is a box as well. You know, it has its own paradigm. However, the cool thing about regenerative, and certainly my own personal paradigm, is that I'm not attached to there being permanently fixed walls in my box. So my paradigm, I'm keen to expand all the time. You know, I'm not stuck within my paradigm. And so when someone says something to me that to others seems barbaric because they're fixed to their paradigm, I just take it in like, oh, okay, you know, like not sitting there deciding which I agree with it or not. It's more like I'm open to learning newly. And the limitations of having these rigid boxes are, and look, looking at boxes, looking at paradigms, there's paradigms in the conventional ag sector where, you know, we need to replenish all the minerals that we remove in the form of our produce due to our monocultures and our lacking of biodiversity and microbial diversity. That's the truth in that paradigm. So, you know, when we're seeing all these articles around people defending, like for instance, this nitrogen cap. So in the conventional paradigm, in their box, the truth is that they need nitrogen. And there's some validity to that because the production system that they operate from, or their box, or their paradigm, actually does require a lot of input because their soils aren't functioning, they don't have the diversity, they don't have the biological function to do that for them. So we can't get down on these people for, you know, defending their stance and finding what we're saying over here in this box, the regenerative agriculture box, a bit absurd. Because in a way, I've been in that box before. It's like if someone had come to me and said to me, I don't know, 10 years ago that you didn't need fertilizer, I would have said that guy was an absolute, you know, I'll keep my language clean, but, you know, someone a bit crazy. And so I don't get down on these people defending the current paradigm. What I invite people to consider is there's stuff outside of the box that you're operating from that will not make sense, but that's where the difference is to be made. Sticking within the beliefs of the current box doesn't progress us any further. And we know right now, you know, if you look around at the water quality, at the atmosphere, at the air we're breathing, at the food we're eating, at the decline in human health and animal health and plant health and the continual treatments of symptoms, you know, you can't deny that the current box of which most people operate from just isn't, you know, carrying the day. So what I want people to do, rather than defending their current box, have those uncomfortable thoughts of thinking outside the box. Because remember, thinking outside the box, and the other thing is, the people you'll have around you, the people that you'll subconsciously have around you are the people that agree with your box. So remember, it's going to be a case of it's not going to make sense to you, and it's likely not going to make sense to those around you, but just entertain those thoughts. That's how we innovate. Every new innovation is had outside of a box. So if we can just be thinking outside of the paradigm, create a new paradigm, this new paradigm, I'm committed to having no walls, just to being continually evolving, continually learning. That's my life. Every day I'm learning more and more and more. People say, oh, aren't you going to defend what you're doing to these people who are slagging, you know, regenerative agriculture in the media? And I'm just saying, no. You know, what we'll do instead is lead them and inspire them to thinking outside of that box. Because remember, it's the truth to them. What they believe and what they're defending for them is their truth. So if we can inspire people to think outside of that box, for me, I'm already in a very different paradigm, but I'm listening to everyone. I'm listening to everyone just eager for new, uncomfortable thoughts. And it's those uncomfortable thoughts that I have, even with people around me who consider themselves to be regenerative, it doesn't make sense to them, but people are getting used to the absurd thoughts that I have, and the crazy new ideas that I have, and that sometimes that they are just crazy ideas, but other times they're really valid new innovations that when you grasp and put into practice, they actually produce something that makes a difference. So remember, if you want to make a difference to the current status quo at the moment, to producing new levels of profitability and resilience, joy and peace of mind, like what I'm committed to, you need to get used to that discomfortable or uncomfortable thought, and that those thoughts of lacking agreement actually do create something really exciting. They may create something really exciting, and they may not. And they may not the first time you bring up these ideas or thoughts, but look, you share those thoughts with others around you, get beyond the, the reactions of people, those mechanical reactions that are built into us as human beings. Get beyond that, make sure you hear their concerns and see what they have to say about your crazy idea, because it might just be that your crazy idea plus someone else's open input plus someone else's crazy idea together brings up something that might just transform the world that we live in. So remember, people, hang out with those discomforts. Life is not comfortable, especially not when you're living a full and satisfied life. It's really, really quite scary. And I embrace the scary, and I invite you to do the same, because that's where the impact is to be had. And that's where the fulfillment is. It's like living life on the skinny branches, Yes, it is the most dangerous. You've got your neck out. Any moment that guillotine might come down. But look, it's for me, it's the definition of living a full life, is life out on those skinny branches. Because I tell you what, folks, it's got the best view.